Hey everyone, I wanted to quickly go over a leveling build that I used for my Druid from level 1 to 50, and it will be the Shred build. So, one thing I like about this build is it can be pretty quick as far as whenever you use your Shred, it allows you to dash to other enemies, and to me, it's a fun playstyle. It's definitely not like the best in the world, especially being a Druid. The leveling process is very unforgiving. So I will say, like with this, with like mobs and just minion type monsters, it's pretty nice. The main struggle with this build would be the boss damage. It does take a bit longer, but aside from that, it's been feeling pretty decent throughout this leveling process. So I figured I'd go over the build. Full disclosure, this build is a build I got off of Maxroll, so I will be putting a link in the description, and you can go ahead and click that link, and it has the whole breakdown of everything. So you can feel free to use that website as a guide, and I'm just gonna go over a brief overview of the build. So throughout the leveling process, for the most part, I only had Stormclaw's necklace. It wasn't until like just a level or two ago I was able to get this other power on it. So with that being said, don't expect to be able to have all of these available. You could be like me where I was only able to have one for most of the time. But I would say the biggest and most important aspect to have is the Stormclaw's necklace. This is what's going to help you with the AoE damage when you use the Shred ability. So this is what really helped me out with the AoE clearing and just made it better overall. So as far as all the aspects, if you're able to, have the materials to imprint them all and you get them all from the dungeons and whatnot, it would be right here where I have Stormclaw's necklace. And then for one of the rings, it would be Edge Master. So that's right here. It would be Edge Master. And then the other ring would be that. So the second ring, it'll be the aspect of the Umbral. This will help you with the resource. And then for defensive, you're going to want the helmet would be Disobedience. Where is it at? This one right here, Disobedience. It's the one that you want for the armor. And for the chest piece, you're going to want Skinwalker's Aspect. Gives you more survivability. Then the gloves, you see the gloves right here. It's the Retaliation. It increases your damage for the amount of Fortify that you have. It's the damage from your core skill. And then for pants, it would be, let's see, where's it at? Protector. It gives you a barrier absorbing damage for 10 seconds. After damaging an elite, can only happen once every 30 seconds. So again, more survivability. And then lastly, for your boots, it would be eluding. Becoming injured while crowd control grants you unstoppable for 4 seconds. This effect has a 40-second cooldown. So obviously this helps you when you're injured. I believe that's when you're 35% health and below. Helps you become unstoppable for a little bit. Helps you get out of trouble. Therefore, helps you stay alive. Now, as far as weapon, throughout the leveling process, you're going to avoid putting a aspect in your weapon, mainly because your weapon is going to be changed out quite a bit throughout the leveling process. So by all means, if you have like a game breaking aspect and you have the materials, you have the gold, feel free to do it. But I personally never did it, nor would I really recommend to. But again, it is your game. Do what you like. As far as leveling up or upgrading the gear, the only thing I've upgraded was my weapon. My armor pieces have always been 0. My armor pieces, my weapon piece, I originally started at rank 2. Then I finally made it a 4, mainly because it was part of like the season journey. What do you call it? Objective. So that's the reason why this is even at 4. So you don't really need to have this all the way up to 4. You can just have it up to 2 if you like. Again, up to your preference with how you play the game. So, but yeah, in a real scenario, you're definitely not going to be able to fully imprint everything. But if you do want to, those are the aspects that the guide says. As far as if you can only pick one, my most important one I would say is this one for that damage. And then I was finally able to get enough mats to do another one. So I felt I was lacking damage, so I decided to go with the core skill damage increase for this one, and that's what helped me quite a bit. So completely up to you what you prefer to add on, but for me personally, I went with the necklace. Now, as far as jewelry, if you get the hearts, throw whatever hearts in there. Just keep in mind if it's something that's pretty good and you want to hold out on that. You could always just put skulls in all of your jewelry. Armor pieces, just do rubies, and then your weapon will be the sapphire. Now for the skill tree. Again, this is all on the Maxroll website, so I'm just going to go over it briefly because I don't want to take up too much time here. So just be Storm Strike all the way to Fierce Storm Strike. It's going to be 5 of 5 Shred, and it will be Primal Shred. Heart of the Wild passive, only rank 1, then rank 3 Abundance, rank 3 Predatory Instinct, rank 3 Gate. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try. And then more passives over here. Ancestral Fortitude, rank 1 of 3. Vigilance, rank 3 of 3. Then your other skills will be Blood Howl, rank 1. And then Innate Blood Howl. Debilitating Roar, rank 5 of 5. And then Preserving Debilitating Roar. Next skill, Poison Creeper. This will be 5 of 5. The reason why you see mine saying 7 out of 5 is because I have an item that gave me plus 2 ranks. So with this, with the amount of points you spend, will only be 5. And then Ferocious Poison Creeper. And then rank 3 of 3 Call of the Wild. And then Trample, only 1 of 5. Again, this is buffed because of an item I have, so it gave it 2 additional ranks. And it'll be Savage Trample. Passives will be Neurotoxin, rank 1 of 3. Toxic Claws, rank 1 of 3. And Venom, rank 3 of 3. Defensive Posture, 3 of 3. Thick Hide, rank 2 of 3. And then finally, Lupine, however you want to pronounce it, Ferocity. So those are all the skill points you would put in as far as from 1 to 50. The exact order, I would say follow the Maxroll guide or just kind of go along with how you're feeling with the game. If you feel like you benefit more from skill points or, like an increased skill, or if you would benefit more from passives, that's completely up to you. But I would say the number one thing is getting your Shred 5 out of 5. That's like the biggest thing for me. I'd say Shred 5 out of 5 and Poison Creeper 5 out of 5 were like the biggest things for me. Again, your situation may be different, so completely up to you. But again, I would follow the Maxroll guide. It has a complete breakdown of what you want to pick throughout certain levels. This breakdown is how your skill tree will look when you're level 50, so please keep that in mind. So that about covers the build. As far as gameplay, I'll just kind of do a little bit of gameplay. I'm not going to do a full entire Nightmare Dungeon clear or anything because I'm still only level 51, but it won't be fast or anything, so I just kind of want to show a general gameplay. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm not fishing for the right one or anything, I'm just plugging along, so that's ideally the goal of this, is no matter what you run, you want it to feel somewhat decent. This build is definitely not like the best by any means, but for me personally, I did like this. Before the season started, I played Pulverized Druid from my leveling process. So I went to tier 4, then I was lucky enough to get a Tempest Roar, so I switched to the Tornado Druid. So I figured with this season I wanted to try out Shred Druid. So far it's fun. Poison Creeper, Bloodhowl. Yeah, it's pretty simple playstyle. What I like the most is how you can just dash with the Shred. See, I'm just dashing around. Good crowd control with Poison Creeper. If you see yourself in a pinch, you could always use your debilitating Roar. It allows the enemies to do, it prevents the enemies from doing so much damage. It reduces it by like 70%. But yeah, decent AoE clear. Just single target, it's a little lacking, but I mean, nothing's ever gonna be perfect, and especially with Druid leveling, it's a little more difficult. But ultimately, I've had a lot of fun with this build. Alright, sorry. One thing I did forget to mention is the boons I have active. It'll be Wariness, Scythe Talons, and Swooping Attacks, Pack Leader, and Masochistic. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful at all or want more Diablo content, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.